Hello and welcome to the Canaccord Coffee Break podcast. I'm delighted to be joined today by John Pullar-Strecker, who is a research analyst in our Chief Investment Office. And we are here for a Christmas special, one of two Christmas specials, in fact. So for those who don't know me, I'm Jane Parry. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer here at Canaccord Wealth. And the idea of the podcast is to give you a little bit of bite-sized market insight in just under 10 minutes. And if you like what you're hearing, don't forget to hit follow on Spotify or Apple and you will never miss an episode. So John, welcome on board.
Hi Jane, thank you.
Thank you for
Great
coming
to be
back.
Here again.
So when you were with me last, month or so ago, you touched on the subject of pet diagnostics.
We did.
And I said, oh, that sounds interesting. Come back and tell me a bit more about that. So here we are. And the theme of today's podcast is A Dog is for Life, Not Just for Christmas. And it's all about what we are doing to invest in pet health. So first off, I wanted to have a look at the macro picture and why is the demand for investing in pet health and how that might change in the future. And I know that that's something you're sort of deeply involved in researching on behalf of clients and investors.
Indeed.
So I think, well, from what we see in the UK, lots of people have pets and there are lots of pets, dogs and cats in the world. So perhaps you could just start off by giving us a bit of a sense of the scale of pet ownership, perhaps in the Western world.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, great to be talking about this. Pets, dogs, cats, there are obviously other pets, gerbils and snakes and other pets that people like to keep.
Nice fluffy dogs.
But they're roughly in US and Europe combined. So this is just US and Europe, not the rest of the world. Around 180 million dogs, around 203 million cats.
That is a lot of cats and dogs.
That is a lot. And
raining cats and dogs.
Indeed. And it's because we love our pets and we try to look after them. But just to give you some kind of scale, there's an average of about half a pet, that's either dogs or cats or gerbils or snakes, for every person in the Western world. So it's a lot of pets to look after.
My mean husband won't let me have a dog. Anyway, never mind. That's another subject. So what are the pressures that pet owners face today and how have these changed perhaps over the last few years?
I think there are a number of pressures that owners have. I mean, one of those, and the most obvious, is insurance costs.
Yeah.
They never seem to go down. They always seem to go up. Roughly in the region of the UK of 11 to 14 pounds a month, which is not affordable for every dog owner. And that's one of the reasons why only around 50% of pets are insured.
Okay.
There's a second one. And this is just a sort of cost of living. Again, pet food never seems to go down in price. It only goes up, and we want to give our pets the best food and the healthiest food that we can. During the cost of living crisis, we think particularly sort of during COVID and after, when prices going up, according to animal charities, about 770,000 owners were actually cutting back on essentials, including potentially skipping meals to afford both food and vet care.
Oh, so they were putting their pets ahead of themselves?
Absolutely.
Wow.
And this is one of the features about pets. You know, we love our pets. They're very important to us, and we want to look after them. But it's expensive. And then the third problem, and this is partly, again, through COVID burnout, is that we have fewer and fewer veterinarians, as vets as we call them, and it takes an awful long time to qualify. So in the UK, it takes 5 to 6 years, and in the US, 7 to 8 years.
To qualify to be a vet?
Absolutely, which is an awful long time. I mean, in some cases, it may take even more than a human doctor.
Oof. Yeah.
Was that woof?
It was a woof, woof, woof.
Absolutely. I mean, and this is the problem. So you have vet practices where vets are becoming older, they're wanting perhaps to retire. And, you know, there's just a shortage, which means a shortage of visits available, shortages of appointments, and that leads to a tougher situation in terms of treating our pets.
So let's loop back to the theme of today and investing in pet diagnostics, and why is that important for both pet owners and for vets offering those services? And I guess, how does that help them create capacity when there's a shortage of vets, or speed up their service and save costs for pet owners?
Well, it's a hugely important part. We need to have more diagnostic products, not least because our pets can't tell us what the problem is. At least us is we don't always know what the problem is.
We don't read wolf, do we?
We don't.
Or meow.
But we don't always know what problems we have. But we may be able to help doctors.
Yeah.
Along those lines, it's more difficult unless it's obvious. It's just much more difficult for vets. So they need a variety of tools, and these are sort of diagnostic products and services. So one company that we know serves customers in over 175 countries. It's a leader in the global sphere, and it provides all kinds of different products, including in-clinic analyzers.
Yeah.
Because if you can analyze what's wrong with your pet in the clinic, it saves taking lots of test tubes and fluids.
And sending that off to a lab.
Sending it off to a lab and getting it back, and it wasn't this, maybe it's that. So the more that you can do in the lab,
or in the vet surgery, sort of thing.
Exactly. The faster it happens. Hopefully, it means less cost. Although this is still early stages from that perspective, and our pets can be treated more quickly and effectively. So these are the kind of tools that are required.
So what other sort of tools, diagnostic developments are coming along the line then?
So at the moment, the in-house products can treat two different areas really, blood morphology and hematology. They can look at red blood cells and white blood cells and platelets. And that obviously gives you a huge amount of information. They can look at ear cytology. So we think one of the biggest problems.
Yeah, animals always seem to have ear problems, don't they?
Yeah, but yes, I mean, probably a bit more dogs than cats, because they tend to go, roaming around fields and picking up seeds and that kind of thing. Cats probably slightly less, but it's important for both. In the future, it's going to involve products that will enable vets, hopefully in-house, to be able to look at, say, lumps, where there might be tumours.
Bumps and lumps.
Absolutely, which, oncology is, again, a huge part of a pet. And the speed at which you can sort of take these tests and find out what's wrong is very important.
Interesting. So I can see there that there's advantages for both pet owners, speed, costs, but also for people running vet practices. They can do it in-house. They can turn that around more quickly. So workflow, time efficiency gains, taking advantage of all that tech. But what about our clients or investors and client portfolios? How does this play back into that? Because ultimately that's what we're about, isn't it, in wealth management?
Absolutely. So I think it's a number of ways. If you can find companies that have a large amount of recurring revenue as part of their models, and
this is companies who are developing this diagnostic tech you're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. Because along with the diagnostic equipment, there are consumables, there may be test arrays, there's software. All of these things are expenses, costs that need, but they're absolutely essential, as they are with human medicine.
But we've already established right at the beginning what a huge, half a pet per person in the Western world. Yeah, so there's a huge amount of pets then that need treating.
There's a huge amount of pets that need treating, and quite often they get treated sort of too late.
Yeah.
But for these companies, if 80% or maybe even more of your revenue is from consumables, once you've put one of these pieces of kit inside a vet, then that's recurring revenue, and that's a very strong business model. So that's the
sort of thing we're looking for as investors.
Absolutely. And the way that I look at these kind of stocks is, as a pet owner myself, we have a dog and we have a cat.
Don't tell me that. Don't tell me.
And they and they fight playfully, I should say, rather than aggressively. But it's essential that we have these kind of tools.
Developments.
But investing in these kind of companies, I see it as one of the ways that trades off to the insurance and the costs that we have, which always seem to go up. So if you can perhaps invest in these and make a bit of money as well, it's a little bit of an offset against some of the costs that we take.
Thank you. Oh, well, thank you for your time today. Really interesting. I think I just need to sum up what's in my takeaway coffee cup today. So as we've established, there are a lot of pets in the world who get poorly from time to time. So anything we can do to help fast track getting them better is a good thing to do, we reckon. And actually people would go hungry before their pet.
Indeed.
Which is interesting. Yes. And sadly, pets can't tell us what's wrong with them. So tools that give us much more diagnostic capabilities will move the needle in everyday veterinary practices to speed up looking after the animal. But we do have this vet bottleneck. So again, anything we can do to support vets to get through more patients more quickly is going to be a good thing. And from an investment perspective, the market is huge and growing. And if we can help invest in some of the technology that supports this, then win, win, win.
Exactly.
Woof, woof, woof.
Exactly. I mean, that's perfect. I mean, perfect summing up. We're helping the vets become more productive. We're hopefully getting treatment for our pets more quickly and more effectively and diagnosing what's wrong. And that's a win-win.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
You're most welcome. Have a lovely Christmas.
Happy Christmas to you too.
Happy Christmas, Jane.
Investment involves risk. The value of investments and the income from them can go down as well as up, and you may not get back the original amount invested. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance. The information provided is not to be treated as specific advice. It has no regard for the specific investment objectives, financial situation, or needs of any specific person or entity. It is accurate at the time of recording and is subject to change.